It's time for the Alamo City Golf Tour Power Hour, featuring Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Mike DerManuelian. Let's go!
Good evening, Alamo City Golf Tour. My name is Mike DerManuelian, and welcome to the ACGT Tour Power Hour. Really excited for you guys tonight. Great show. Lots to talk about. Lots of things going on around the tour. Talking a little bit about Mission Del Lago this weekend, finishing up the season strong and rolling into the playoffs. But before we jump into all that, let's bring out the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Bird.
Well, what an intro.
What an intro.
How are you doing? Realize I was a myth. I am real.
You are mythical. You are legendary to this tour. And in a short time frame, you've created a real legendary status. I think we can all agree with that. I expect to see a lot of people commenting. There will be comments.
I look forward to all the mean and snarky comments so I can cry after this.
I want to hype you up, but no one hypes up Bird like Bird.
Well, if you're not going to do it yourself, who's going to do it for you?
Word. Now, let's bring in the man we all know and love, our tour commissioner, the showman, the man who never sleeps, Travis Salkowski.
The man who never sleeps. That's
seen him sleep.
That's getting more and more accurate. I immediately clicked over to the comments after we gave Bird a legendary status just to see all the comments rolling in, and they are zip, zero, zip, nada. None of the above.
We'll give it bombastic. We'll give it time. People will jump in.
Right. How's everybody going tonight? MD, thank you for being here. How's your Tuesday night rolling?
It's good. I just finished installing a ceiling fan. We moved into the house. We moved into our new house yesterday. Had the movers in, dealing with all that, and then today installing ceiling fans and doing some other work. So happy to be taking a break.
Well, I mean, a break. This is work too. Director of Media Relations for the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. You know,
I hardly find this work. This is enjoyable to a level beyond. I mean, go install a ceiling fan.
Well, listen, if I had to choose the podcast or a ceiling fan, I'm going to choose the podcast over the ceiling fan. A mill out of a mill. Jason Bird, how is your Tuesday going? How's your week shaping up?
I've been going real hard lately. As you know, work's been kind of busy. I've been traveling a lot. I finally spent a consecutive week inside the state of Texas, which is great.
Very good. You've been traveling a ton lately.
Yeah. Finally back to my routine, getting to the gym, getting to the range, playing 9. So felt good to get out there today and put a little work on my golf game. And I know Casey Kearns will say something about it and like Bird player better, hashtag play better or something like that. But it's hard when you're just out of town so much. So I'm trying to get back to it. I'm really trying to get back into shape for our upcoming little golf trip so I can whoop up on Casey some more.
Well, that's a good point. I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about Mission Del Lago coming up this weekend. We've got some spots left. We've got the summer season really dwindling down, really getting close here. We've got 3 events left, Mission, Northern Hills, and the PC Open at Olmos Basin. And, I mean, we are through 5 events in summer. Holy cow. I'm really excited to go to Mission. The trail's doing some work at Mission. And another big announcement from the trail today was the expansion of the parking lot at San Pedro and a refurbished short game area there. So I know we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight too. So I know we got a great show. I love the off week shows because they're unscripted and they go off on so many tangents. And thanks to everybody watching because they kind of go in a ton of different directions. So really excited about the San Pedro expansion. Really excited about the end of the tour season. Double points to finish the season. I'm happy to be back on the podcast after my first week off from the podcast last week. So I figured I'd change the setting a little bit, set up shop in the home office, and kind of change the backdrop a little bit after taking the week off.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time right now. I actually got a little practice in today, and I'll be honest with you, it was Cindy who said, I want to go out and hit golf balls.
What?
We took Cindy to the club today, and she hit golf balls, and I was talking to Keo about it, and I said, hey, Cindy wanted to go hit golf balls today. He's like, how'd it go? I said, she walked out there and thought she was going to be great, and now she's pretty frustrated and ready to go hit golf balls again. And Keo's like, congrats, she's officially a golfer.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. You are a member at Twin Creeks up in Austin. It's an awesome club. It's really active, and the practice facility is really good. I like being kind of down in that valley down there, real quiet.
No cell service.
Yeah, no cell service. I think that's important. But that means no music as well, but
Download it to your phone.
Yeah, it's always downloaded to the phone. I was working hard on the chipper this weekend, and
the chipper.
That is big news. That is big news. I finally have converted Michael DerManuelian to the chipper. His is off-brand though. It's a Ping, so it's not the Callaway Odyssey tank chipper that we all know and love.
It's called the chipper though.
It's the chipper.
But it's spelled wrong.
Yeah, it's spelled all dumb like Ping likes to do, right?
Chip R.
Chip
It's a pirate
Yeah.
chipper. Chip R.
Chip R.
Casey Graham is asking me how about the putting. Casey, I'll tell you what. Shout out to Casey Carnes and to Casey Graham. I know we talked about Casey's putting. We talked a little bit about Casey's practice and kind of how he goes about that last week. And as someone who watched a bunch of putts lip out the previous week, all these different things, I spent the last few days just working on my putting, and it was fun today. I don't know if I was just trying to show off for Cindy or what, but I was draining some putts, and I'm like, all right, we're heating up, feel good.
Well, I definitely did not touch a golf club on this last off weekend. Spent lots of time with the family. The kiddo is going into 4th grade this year, so there was some school stuff going on, meet the teachers this week. So we didn't have any golf plans this past weekend in our household. So I'm 2 weeks off right now. So maybe I'll get some reps in at Mission before the ACGT Tour ambassadors, lead ambassadors, myself, Jason, Casey, and Dustin are going up to Red Sky Ranch in Colorado to scout for a possible ACGT Tour Travels event in the future. So we're going to try to get one quick golf trip in to Central Colorado here in 3 weeks. I think we'll be there. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Before all breaks loose on the tour.
Yes, before we get to the playoffs. Yes. Actually, before the PC Open. The week before the PC Open, we'll be in Colorado. That'll be a special podcast. We'll try to do a podcast while we're there on location so everyone can get a chance to see us out there scouting new golf courses, ask those questions about logistics of an ACGT Tour Travels event, and we'll kind of have a Tour Travels special podcast. What goes into those? How do Jason and I navigate talking with the golf courses? How do we set those things up? How far in advance are we out there? And then when Casey and Dustin come into the logistics, how do they go about working the ACGT Tour Travels events, and what do they do, and ACGT Tour Travels as a whole, and what that really brings to the tour golfer? Because those weeks are some of the best weeks of the tour calendar season. Even though it's a traveling event and a non-points earning event for the regular season, they're some of the coolest times with the customers and the ambassadors together. So we'll show a little bit about the behind the scenes on that in a couple weeks.
Perfect. Well, before we jump in, Travis, you want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors for us?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is the ACGT Tour Power Hour. It is Tuesday, August the 16th at 8:41 p.m. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsor, Sean Sexton, the Sexton Agency of Goosehead Insurance, the 2022 Alamo City Golf Trail Tour presenting sponsor, and of course, Rick Hoinsey with Elevated Logistics, the same-day delivery leaders in Texas. They are the 2022 South Texas Match Play Challenge sponsors. Thank you to our two big sponsors, and we can't go the whole podcast without mentioning our Victory Cookie Award sponsors. Thank you so much to Laura Lewis and the Cake Place and More. Find her on Facebook, the Cake Place and More. Cookies, the Victory Cookies for the flight winners week in and week out are rock star. We're working on some limited edition stickers. I know we're getting into the merchandise a little bit, but one of the stickers we're dabbling with. Do you by chance have that loaded in, Mike?
I do not, no.
Okay, all right, we'll let that go. We have a special cookie sticker that can only be purchased by cookie winners. And I just made that up right now because Bird's never won a cookie, so he can't buy a sticker. I think that would be terrific.
My God, I'm so mad right now.
Well, he got it. You know
So
what? He
mad.
got a free cookie at Almost Basin. So
That's true. He can play in the match play.
He's so
he
angry
can play in the
left.
match play. He's so mad he left.
He's so mad he left.
He's gonna make
Like
us.
I can see him backstage crying.
He's gonna make me take back that standard operating procedure here real quick.
I'm so mad right now. I hate you all.
Shout out to our sponsors. Thank you. This year's sponsors are super engaged. We're so blessed to have them by our sides. Rick and Sean are there day in and day out, week in and week out. They play in every event. They're really great, active, engaged sponsors. We wouldn't be where we are without them. And of course, Laura Lewis and the Cake Place and More provides that energy on tour events for those victory cookies. I think it's cult classic, and I love it. I 100% love it.
I tell you what, I tell everyone about Laura's cookies. Like, I mean, she did Emma's birthday cookies. I actually had a customer at my work, a customer I support, get cookies from Laura for a party they're having. Bird, she has cookies available for purchase. That might be your in.
I actually got a phone call today from a tour customer who was requesting Laura's contact information for maybe going to college cookies or graduation. Yeah. I'm not sure. But yeah, 100%. If you need to get a hold of Laura and you need to go through the tour, PM the tour and we'll get you in contact with Laura for sure for victory cookies or cookies for your special occasion, cakes, and so much more. Normally I'm sitting in front of that ACGT tour backdrop behind me. The Cake Place and More really means more. She did that backdrop for the tour, and it's awesome. She's so engaged and involved. And as long as we're thanking people, let's thank the ambassadors. I know we're getting close to the end of the tour season. So thank you so much to all the ambassadors, week in and week out. Thank you for those watching tonight. Of course, Dustin, Hassan, and Casey Graham, who are not on live with us tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Jason Sandoval, Stephen Evans, Laura Lewis, Sean Vidal, marshaling ambassadors, super awesome. Thank you so much. Pace of play has never been better on tour, and it's because of those guys. Really preaching awareness out there. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, Sandoval. We appreciate it. Greg Graff and Micah Carroll on the starters tent. Thank you guys so much for what you do. I know I'm missing a ton of you guys. And of course, Jason and MD above me. Thank you guys for your ambassadorship as well. The ACGT Tour is the home of amateur competition golf in South Texas, and we're growing. And it is another sellout and another sellout and another sellout. And that leads us right into availability for Mission, Jason Bird. Let's talk about summer event number 6 this coming Sunday. The the 21st at Mission Del Lago. Individual stroke play, double points. Thanks for the graphic there, MD. We appreciate it.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, we're sold out, but luckily we have a little extra a large tee block, so we can accommodate a handful more golfers. But yeah, I think we sold out the initial block.
So single digits left. Registration officially closes tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Which puts the first notice to players out on Thursday, the 18th, and the second notice to players out on Saturday, the 20th. So sign up, acgttour.golf. That is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there, acgttour.golf under the event registration tab, event sign up, under the event sign up tab.
And it's going to be the end of the Sizzling Summer Southside Swing as well. We're coming to a close here. We said goodbye to Riverside a couple of weeks ago. We're going to go to Mission. And there's some, we'll dive into it here a little bit. We've got a couple of clips and stuff like that, but there's some changes going on at Mission too that I think is going to be interesting. I think people are going to really enjoy seeing when they get out to the course this weekend.
I'm really excited about that too. I love Mission Del Lago. I think it's one of the better layouts on the trail. I really like
100%.
I mean, it's pound for pound the hardest in my opinion. I think it's harder than Cedar. I think it's more challenging than Willow. I love it. I love what the trail is doing at Mission. Lots of land clearing, opening up the ponds on the back nine. Some land clearing coming up on the back nine and the front nine. I love, it's a great point saying goodbye to Riverside. I think that it's really neat that the trail is really reinvesting into the golf courses. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Olmos Basin, Brackenridge Park with the new bunkers this year. Olmos Basin bulldozed, and in my opinion, the best $50 golf course in the country right now.
Yep.
And Riverside closing, getting a complete facelift. Mission Del Lago getting tons of upgrades from land clearing and the pond restoration, and not new bunkers, but some improvements to the bunkers coming up. And then the San Pedro announcement that came out today, 50 plus new parking spots, expanding that parking lot, understanding that those challenges that come with operating San Pedro. And believe me, I know I operated that facility for quite a while. So I know what that parking lot can be like. And well, heck, let's talk about that right now. That was the news that came out from the trail today. Here is a rendering, an aerial view of the San Pedro parking lot. That is San Pedro Avenue running left to right. North is on the left side there, on the bottom of your screen. And the right side of the parking lot there, the circle part, would go over the existing putting green. So really expanding that parking area, much more user friendly there. And we've yet to see renderings of the short game area, but the short game area is completely changing over there. I was on the phone with Ruben Caraveo today, director of marketing for the trail, and Kevin Molyneux, their director of operations. And this is an exciting announcement for those guys. So really excited about San Pedro. That was my first gig with the trail. 13 years ago was at San Pedro. So I love San Pedro. I got to be really involved in the remodel of San Pedro and the construction of San Pedro. So I'm really excited for the expansion of the parking lot there, the T-line expansion, the addition of the golf shop, Ben Carricker's shop there, the enhanced teaching there. San Pedro is really the go-to destination in San Antonio for practicing there. I love it.
I think this was kind of, Obviously, more parking is great. That's perfect because it's always busy. But I think the one aspect or one of those next big changes they really need to invest in was that short game area, the putting greens and the chipping area. I don't think they get utilized half as much as they should, but it's just because they're just a little bit smaller, and the big focus has always been on the driving range. I think it'll be really cool to see them kind of, re-engage in that side of it. And I mean, San Antonio's short game is going to get a lot better.
Yeah, I like it. I'm really excited to see that. I'm just looking over at the comments there. Steven, I don't know, Steven Evans, MD, if you pull that comment in.
I'm curious about the short game area too, because I think that chipping green may have just been just a little too small to be completely useful. So I'm curious of where it's going to be and how big it'll be.
I am too. That's a great question, Stephen. Will the new short game area be suitable for all kinds of short game? Pitching, chipping, bunker play, putting. I know for sure that they're going to incorporate a new putting green. I have no idea how much room is over there to make a short game complex, versus just a chipping green. So I'll be really excited when the trail releases renderings of what they're doing over there.
Me too.
I'm really excited to see that. I love San Pedro. That parking lot gets jam packed.
And shout out to Greg Graff. And for those of you who don't know, we now have an ACGT Tour YouTube page as well, where we'll be posting more content and those kinds of things. But shout out Greg Graff.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's watching on YouTube tonight. The ACGT Tour YouTube channel is there. You can always get there from the Facebook page, and it's just another outlet. Beep alert, special news alert. Ruben Caraveo is watching. Beep. At the moment, the bunker is going away. The current green, I'm assuming he means the chipping green there because the putting green's now a parking lot. The current chipping green will be enlarged, and they're also waiting for the renderings that we are so anxiously awaiting. It doesn't sound like we're getting a bar cart out there, Patrick DeCosimo.
I heard there was going to be like a chipping green by number 5 on the course. Is that like just bullshit, or has that just been scrapped?
I have absolutely no idea. No more thinning bunker shots into the creek. That is correct. That is 75 cents a golf ball, Greg, that is getting bladed into the creek there. That's me thinking as a golf course operator there again. I apologize.
It says don't use the range balls there.
Do you want to know what the first
as many
thing?
Golf balls as Morgan hits, she's chewing through those golf balls.
Do you want to know what the first thing I thought when everybody was commenting on the short game area? Like, oh, it should be awesome. Oh, it should be this. Oh, it should be that. Do you know what the first thing I thought as a golf course operator was?
Maintenance?
No. That putting green makes $0. That's the first thing that I said to myself in my mind. Didn't say it out loud, right? That short game area that we're all talking about redoing and the trail spending money on. Of course, I'm not part of that conversation, right? But that area that we're all talking about makes $0. So
I mean, directly, but if you make a nice area, it brings people out and gets them to hang around. The longer someone stays in San Pedro, the more they're going to buy beer, which is where the money's at, right?
I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Yes, friendly, lit. I definitely like the lights there. And I love the shout out that people should use the short game area more. What does everybody do when they get to San Pedro? They go right to range balls and right to the driver. What is the golf club that you use the most statistically every round?
Driver.
Putter.
That is incorrect. Jason Bird, incorrect. Thank you for helping me prove my point. I appreciate that.
I mean, if you hit
the modern game will tell you that the quickest way to lower scores is to hit it further, though, right? I mean,
yes, we are not talking strokes gained. We are not. We are talking the club that is used the most per round, 50% of the time, statistically. 50%.
It works 60% of the time. Little bits of Panther in it.
Yes, but you're exactly right. A welcoming short game area that you can spend time on, that you're not getting in the way of other people chipping or pitching on, is only going to enhance your time and your stay at San Pedro And I definitely agree. You don't go to San Pedro to putt and leave, but it's definitely an enhancement area. It's a full service area. It completes the golf experience at San Pedro, and I'm excited for the trail. I was excited for that news to come out today.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
That's phenomenal. All right, so let's talk a little bit about. Let's jump back into Mission a little bit. Let's talk about some of the changes going on at the golf course. Let's talk about how those changes are potentially going to impact people's rounds this weekend, if at all, and just kind of some things like that. So let's jump into Mission. I got some videos if we do want to pull those up, or we could just kind of talk about those changes that would be.
No, I think we'd love to see the video. The trail is doing some land clearing and some pond clearing on the back 9 at Mission Del Lago. So the big pond on 10 and 16 is almost
that shared one,
done.
right?
Yeah, the shared one there. So that's where you're going to see the biggest changes as a golfer. You're going to see number 10 tee box be completely different, and you're going to see number 16 tee box be completely different. And then the ponds on 11 and 14 are also undergoing clearing and scraping and back to a playable area where you can find your golf ball in and advance it out. I saw an earlier question from Casey in the comments about those areas being in play. They will be marked as red penalty areas, I believe, for the event this weekend. So they will be marked as penalty areas. There won't be anything that will affect play. And if there's any areas on the back 9 or the front 9 that are affected by equipment or debris, they will be marked clearly ground under repair and removed from the tournament atmosphere one way or another.
Absolutely. And I mean, as far as these changes go, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think the trail's doing a good job of making some adjustments. I think, especially that tee shot off of 10. I don't know if
that's the hardest tee shot on the course.
I don't know if
I agree completely. And now you can and now it really shows you the penalty area.
Yeah.
But takes a little bit of the pressure away, because if you really think about that fairway's 45 yards wide and it's OB left and red penalty area right.
I agree. I mean, you're staring right at weeds that are like 10 feet tall, which aren't there anymore. So it just kind of looks like I think that tee, I haven't been there, but I can just imagine that tee shot looks 100 times easier now. I mean, it's just my thought on it.
It definitely looks way cleaner. I love this. I love this update. MD, let's roll the video. This is the pond on 10 and 16.
So this will be on that 10 and 16. Yep.
Yeah, and all of that is now gone. That pond will become playable. I believe the plan will be to mow that. And if there's any future,
is it being sodded with turf?
No, it will definitely not be sodded with turf. It may be seeded by the trail afterwards, but there's a good video right there. That's a good one.
So they're going to drop seed and it'll just grow in over time.
And it'll just grow in over time. Maybe that native wispy area, that wispy look.
Oh, like a heather? That'd be nice.
Yeah, something where you can find your ball. It's safe to go down there. It's
no snakes.
No snakes. Much quicker to find your ball. And there's a good look at some of the extensive work that the trail's putting into Mission Del Lago. I love that property. I do. And that area
there's so much.
It's
such a huge property. There's so much potential there. And, I've always said once those houses go, hopefully there can be a little money infusion to that golf course. And we've talked about this before, Travis. I love the layout. If Mission Del Lago just got, just a little love, I think that would be. I mean, I remember what a guy I used to work with telling me that when that golf course opened, it was the golf course in Texas to go play, Mission Del Lago, with the ponds, and apparently hosted some U.S. Open qualifiers and Texas AMs and stuff. People traveled all over the state to play it.
It opened in the late 80s, and when it opened, I wasn't here at the time. I'm just going off of what I was told. I wasn't alive. I was told it was.
Me neither.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. It's all about how you feel on the inside. And on this Tuesday night, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling way younger than
almost
the ripe age
42.
of 40. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I have no idea what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
We were
Mission
talking
Del
about
Lago
the
being
course
awesome.
in the 80s.
Oh, yes, it was Pier. You're correct. They hosted Texas AM qualifiers. They hosted US Open qualifiers. Mission Del Lago was good. It was
I
good.
think it's good now.
And I think I was out there today actually shooting some videos. I was out there today and the greens look great. The tee boxes look great. They got some rain in the last couple days. I'm really excited to go back to Mission. This will be the last time we're at Mission until the first weekend in January with Monster Day. So I love going back.
Oh, I think it's a really good golf course to kind of finish the last. I mean, the PC Open, yes, it's a 2-day event. It's a tough bracket almost, but I think this is a really fun course to kind of the last kind of regular season stroke play event.
I agree completely. It's the last.
You know what I'm saying.
It's the last real big chance to fly up the leaderboards in a 1-day event, up the point standings.
Yeah.
Up the point standings in a 1-day event. 250 points at this stage in the game could bring you up 30, 35, 40 slots, especially if you're below the cut line. I mean, this is a big event. This is a big deal. It's almost sold out. www.acgttour.golf event sign up. There are single-digit spots left open for yet another sellout on the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. I was talking with Michael Freeman last week about the volume of tour signups. Michael Freeman used to work for the trail and helped me with the tour for a couple seasons there in the mid-teens, in the mid-2000 teens. And we were joking about some of the individual stroke play events in the summer on how we would have to maybe reach out to some people on the point standings and try to fill fields. And now we're having, 10, 12, 15, 20 people on a waiting list. I mean, we had over 24 players on the waiting list for Brackenridge Park last month in that 2-person event. So sign up early. It all leads back to that. We do our best on the waiting list, but we can only do so much. Sign up early. Double points at Mission Del Lago this Sunday. Last time at Mission for the 2022 calendar year, and Mission's pretty good right now.
I just had a thought.
I'm really excited.
Does clearing out any of those ponds for those trees and that scrub bush and all that, does that help the turf grow better, like on the fairways and the adjoining areas? Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, listen, if I'm looking at, as a golf course operator, I'll put on my operator hat again. I'm looking at that pond restoration as aesthetics. I'm looking at a pace of play. Yes. And then there's the third factor at Mission Del Lago, the mosquitoes.
Yes.
So it really helps with that.
It'll help drainage too, right?
It's going to help drainage. It's going to help. It's really going to help the whole system of the golf course. With 25-foot weeds in that pond, it's sucking nutrients, sucking water away from other locations.
Right.
So yeah, of course.
You think it'll collect water if it rains a lot?
I believe it will. Yes, I believe it will for sure. I know that for a fact because there was a little water down there today.
Oh, I mean, that's interesting. When the drought ends, maybe those will become natural ponds again.
Yeah, maybe. I know that it was mentioned, not officially, but it was mentioned the desire that when Mission comes up for a course overhaul, like the trail has done with Olmos and coming up Riverside, that the desire would be to bring the ponds back there on the back nine at Mission Del Lago.
I mean, I think at the very least that one between 10 and 16 really changes the character of the course. The one on 14, well, it's whatever. But
the one on 14 is clean. It looks good. It's going to be much easier to maintain. It's going to increase pace of play. But you're right. That pond changed a little bit. There used to be a huge tree there on the corner, on the fairway corner of that pond. And when that tree came down, it really changed the characteristic of that tee shot as well. So it was much more just blasted up the middle versus trying to be cued up the right side. I mean, that's a big hole. Number 14 is a big hole. And then the pond on number 11 is probably the biggest pond. Actually surprised at how big that pond was when I was down there shooting some videos of it. So again,
that's going to make going for that green and two a lot of a safer play.
Agree
right?
completely. Agree completely.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
that's just going to be bomb and bomb. Just go for it.
Yeah,
might become an easier birdie.
Well, you're gonna have to wait and see. Over under right now. Let's change the subject. Over under right now. Jason Bird's round at Mission Del Lago this Sunday. Let's
80.5. 80.5.
80.5. Over under 80.5.
Oh, I'll take the under on 83 all day.
Over.
Oh, so Jason has now set the bell curve between 80.5 and 83.5. That is a tight bell curve. Oh, Casey Graham takes the over. Thank you for watching. Ruben Caravello chimes in. Oh, Greg Graff comes in at the low. Look at Greg Graff repping Jason Bird. Oh, this is the most let's just continue to talk about Jason Bird's game. I love it. The comments here are awesome, and they're super positive. Nobody was dogging you. I mean, I guess Casey with the all caps over. I guess maybe. Oh, there we go.
Sando says I'm on a revenge tour because him and Tyler were practicing for their 4-ball tournament they're doing. And on the first tee, I walked up to him and I said, so 5 strokes we're getting spotted? And Sando's like, oh, yeah, we can give you 5. I was like, no, I'm giving you guys 5. And he just like looked at me all dumb. And then I got him by 3 on the front, and all of a sudden he was shitting his pants.
Oh, that's great. I love the engagement we have right now about the over under. This is MD. Let's write this down. This is a new segment. Every week we are going to give the over under on Jason Bird's stroke play rounds. We're going to set a line. We're going to come back and we'll pick a winner. We're going to come back. We'll go through the comments. We'll pick a winner. I got an extra sticker. We're going to give away a sticker tonight. And whoever gets this right will give away an ACGT Tour. I play on tour, the ACGT Tour sticker for your car.
I'm going to say an 84 with a 2-stroke penalty.
Oh.
A 2-stroke penalty for what?
I don't think there'll be a penalty. I don't think there'll be a penalty.
I don't know.
2-stroke penalty. That's a general penalty, right? Like, that's like, what would I be doing? Hitting one OB? No, that's not even OB.
What's the fun in saying he's going to go out and shoot 72? No, I don't want that.
No chance of shooting 72. 77 seems about right for, shoot 77, maintain my tour handicap, don't win shit.
As long as it's not Riverside, Bird's competitive.
I got 82. I got the over and 82. No offense, task force runs on stats and numbers. Just call it like I see it. It's the filterless ACGT Tour after hours filterless.
All right, I'm opening Golf Genius and finding my last Mission Del Lago scored. Hold on.
Stand by. All right. With that being said, let's go back to the ACGT Tour's summer season here, available on acgttour.golf. We've got 3 events left in the summer season. We've got Mission Del Lago, of course, this weekend, which is what we're talking about. Double points, Sunday the 21st. Single-digit spots left available, guys. Single digits spots left available for double points. Your last real chance in a one-day event to fly up the leaderboard. And then also open for registration, we've got September the 3rd. That is a Saturday. Northern Hills 2-person best ball. That is double points, and Northern Hills is in great shape right now. And then we've got September the 17th and 18th, Saturday and Sunday, Olmos Basin, the PC Open, the battle for the plaid jacket, makes its debut at Olmos Basin. This will be the first year that both majors are held at the same golf course.
Yep.
And then we go right back there for rounds 1 and 2 of the playoffs. And Olmos is good right now. I love Olmos Basin. We've got the current course record holder watching the podcast live tonight. Bart Wilson shot 67 there a couple weeks ago. He is the course record holder. He clipped Will Griffin by 1. Will Griffin got it in the
Masters.
In the PC Masters at 68. So congratulations to Bart Wilson, course record holder. That has got to feel cool. I know it does. We talked a little bit about that. I was on the phone with Bart a couple days afterwards. And hopefully, again, we're hoping for that. The course record gets set again in a couple weeks here, in about a month, at the PC Open Championship here to wrap up the summer season. Maybe Bart will clip his own score with 66, 65. When those greens roll,
Bart's playing good.
When they roll the way they are right now, if you can get on the right tier and stay between yourself and the hole, you're gonna have a chance to bang home a ton of birdies, especially on the back 9.
We're banging home.
I love it. This would be it's great. We're gonna let that go. Can we please add a language advisory on the Facebook page, please?
It's there.
You
it's
already edited it. Perfect. Thank you.
It's already there.
Appreciate that. So that rounds out the ACGT Tour summer season. 3 events left, all double points, all open for registration. Sign up now. Every event dating back to last year's playoffs has sold out. Sign up now. If you want to play. Season's winding down, and then we're talking playoffs. It's so cool. Playoffs start October the 15th. Top 100, 50 from spring, 50 from summer, get invited to the fall playoffs. And and that all culminates with this year's South Texas Match Play Challenge, which, you guessed it, is at Olmos Basin. So lots of Olmos Basin here in September, October, and November. Really excited for it. MD, take back over. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on.
No.
It's an off-week show. There's no script. I'm sorry.
No, you're making up for lost airtime last week.
I know I wasn't there. I'm just going.
Contractually,
I missed
we owe
you.
at least 30 minutes.
I'll tell you what, I watched it a couple days later. I was pretty burnt out that night, not feeling well. I took a couple Tylenol PMs and got a dozen hours of sleep. So felt much better the next day, but you are right. It was weird not being on here, watching you guys the next day. You guys did great. Thank you so much for carrying the tour load in my absence there.
Shout out Casey Graham. I know we said it to him at the end of the show, but I had a bunch of people like shoot me messages and stuff like, Casey going to be on regularly now? Casey going to be on like every week now? Like, everyone's excited to see Casey Graham.
Well, I don't know what he's doing tonight, but maybe he's backstage and he can come in and say hello.
Yeah,
I know he's in the chats busting out stats.
He's jumping back and forth between YouTube and in between Facebook right now. He's on a tear.
Oh, I see a very good Casey Graham, Jason Bird comment right there. As long as we're diving into the Jason.
What are we
Casey
diving
Graham,
into?
Casey Graham, can you figure out my scoring average, please?
I believe,
what?
I believe he said earlier he was only working on championship flight.
Oh, okay. First flight lives matter. So
First flight lives matter too. Yeah, first flighters are people too.
You know what? If that's the case, my scoring average in champ flight this year is like 75. So
that's correct. Yeah, one event, right? 2 events. Yes, it's great.
Yeah. So,
Casey Graham put in the comments that Jason Bird's 2022 individual stroke play scoring average is 79.2.
Perfect.
I agree. We are in contract negotiations to get him on weekly. Fun fact about that is his rate will be the same whether he's on the show or not on the show.
All right. I have all of my MDL scores ever on tour.
Okay, terrific. Let's circle back to a couple minutes ago. Everybody, thank you for watching and tuning in. This is the ACGT Tour Power Hour. It is Tuesday, August the 16th. The time is 9:16. We've been live for 45 minutes, and we are circling back to Jason Bird's predicted score at Mission Del Lago this coming Sunday in summer event number 6, individual stroke play. Open for registration, by the way. We set the line for Jason Bird in championship flight at 80.5. It was pretty split on over-unders. I believe there was a 75, and I believe there was an 84. That was our bell curve. And we've seen everything in between. And here comes Jason back with his last.
And these
Mission
numbers
Del
are dating
Lago
back
scores.
to 2017?
No, they date back to 2018. I didn't start playing golf until
That's right.
2017.
That was right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Jason Bird's historical Mission Del Lago scoring average. Go.
Yes. So in 2018, there was an individual stroke play event in the spring in which I shot a 95.
Rockstar, I think that's a solid 95. Way to break
I
a
was
hundy.
in third flight. Yes.
It was in third flight at the time.
That was a second gross, by the way. Thank you.
Now there was an event at Mission. There was a lot of rain. There was maybe some mechanical issues, but I remember going to Mission to help them get ready for the tournament on the maintenance side. I remember mowing rough. Maybe that was a tournament when the rough was crazy.
I was also a terrible golfer in 2018.
I think
I know. I'm trying to. I think
it's okay.
Right.
I was a year into playing the game. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify your 95, buddy.
In 2018 summer season, we had a best ball tournament in which I paired with DerManuelian, and we shot 76 as a team. But I carded an 82 that day.
Oh, 14 shots better.
What did I
13.
card?
13
You
shots
carded an 80. And we had a team best ball 76. Good for first gross in first flight.
We were on a tear in 2018.
Well, I will say that the flights have gotten more competitive. I don't think 95 does any good in third flight anymore. I don't think.
Yes. So in 2019, we had a stroke play event at Mission Del Lago where I shot 81. So I improved by one stroke.
Marked improvement.
Trending in the right direction.
There was no stroke play event in 2020 at Mission Del Lago, nor a best ball that I could pull from. So last year we had a stroke play event. I shot 76.
Oh, 76?
76 with a triple.
That's 95, 82, 81, 76. That's trending in the right direction.
I tripled number 3 on that day.
Very likely.
So, MD, are we adjusting the line, or are we still staying at 80.5 with the line for Jason Bird?
I'm changing my score to 86.
Oh, he's gone up. I love it. I'm going to keep the line at 80.5. Choose the over-under, and if you want to put in a score, we're going to come back and pick the if anybody guesses Jason's score on the head, on the number, we're going to give away an ACGT Tour I Play on Tour car sticker.
I take bribes.
Now we're going to have to put that disclaimer up there as well.
No. So Casey Graham went back 79.2.
Oh yeah, I know where this is going.
There we go. Jason Bird, a 0.2 better scoring average. I love the stat section. That was Jeremy Semlinger calling out Bird on the under in the 70s with 79. Lots of Bird support. I'm really impressed that a majority of the Bird comments are like positive. Morally positive. Like, go get him, buddy. I love it.
Oh, I've been struggling this year.
That's a good call out, Casey Graham. I have posted more scores.
Well.
I mean, it's just math.
It's just math. It's just math.
Let's put in
But
the Wisconsin scores.
Again, Mission
I had you on
is.
Wisconsin.
Well, we'll talk about some ACGT Tour travel stuff.
Casey, get it up.
We'll
Here's some
talk about
Wisconsin score
ACGT
averages.
scores, Wisconsin scores, and tour travels. We'll save that for the special tour travels edition coming up in 3 weeks. So we'll talk about those
And-
scoring average. Casey Carnes.
And just to be brought back down to reality, Casey Carnes. Thank you.
I remember one round in 10 years of the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour, one round where Jason Bird came up to me and he was like, I was going after Casey Carnes today. I was going for him. I had a shot. I was there. It was at Brackenridge Park. It was at Brackenridge Park. It was Bird's personal. It was Bird's personal best. It was a couple years ago, and he comes up and he slams his bag down in the pavilion at Brackenridge Park, and he was like, "I almost had Casey today." Wah! And he did his Jason. Wah! Like I almost had him.
Almost.
Jeez. All right. Well, now I mean, I feel like we got into such a whole thing here on all the scores. Everyone appreciate the love to Jason Bird.
I know. I'm really,
I didn't realize that was such a beloved figure.
Maybe MD's opening statement about the legendary status. I mean, there's just this aura that circulates around Jason Bird. I mean, wow. I am impressed. I
love
happy.
everybody.
I am happy to be sharing the same social media platform with you right now. I mean,
you are all my friends.
This is fantastic. I agree. That was one of the first, if not the first, marketing piece was GLB. That was the first quip or logo or fun phrase that we put on a hat. We all rolled into.
You put it on a hat. You did, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Well, it was. I think three of us were where we went. It was MD. Was I with you that day? We went to Lids at North Star Ball, and had hats made that had hashtag GLB on the top. It was you, me, and Dustin. I think playing with Jason.
It was the snakes.
You had I had GLB. You had no snakes. Maybe no three putts.
Yeah.
But it was right when COVID started and everywhere was closed and we were driving all over the state to go play golf in these rural places that were still open. And I remember we all rolled in with our hats, and about on hole 15, Jason Bird was like, GLB, does that mean grind like Bird? Because I said it. I said it. That was the first like saying that we put on anything, and now it's Third Flight Great, and now it's I Play on Tour, the ACGT Tour, and there's logoed cooling towels, and there's stickers, and there's about to be apparel, and we're gonna do those fun T-shirts that say dumb things like I Play on Tour, the ACGT Tour, or I Teach Unteachable Moments, ACGT Tour, or cool fun things.
Jason Bird is my friend.
Or Jason Bird is a legend. I love it.
I'm just Jeff Posey had shirts made with my face on it.
I mean, I think that's great. I mean, golf balls with Jason Bird silhouette, the new tour logo. Oh, Jason Sandoval, bring back the grudge matches. That's what we called those.
I'm ready.
Early in the COVID world, the tour shut down for a little bit because the trail closed early on, and we called our little get-togethers the grudge matches. And
do you remember when the only golf course that was basically open for 100 miles was Quicksand?
Yeah, we played at Quicksand up in Wimberley. We drove to Concan.
We drove to Concan.
Awesome.
I played the Flying L a crap load, and let me tell you, the Flying L ain't that great, but it was perfect at the time.
We went up into the outskirts of Austin a couple times.
You played Wolf.
Wolf Dancer was still open. Las Colinas was still open. We played Berry Creek way up north.
That's right. I forgot we played that. Yeah.
We kind of a funky little neighborhood golf course. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Northern Hills with a
lot of driving irons there. That's for sure.
Yep.
We drove all over to keep the tour culture together. Jason Sandoval was in on that. Kevin Keeney was in on that. Of course, Casey and Dustin Hassan were in on that. Oh man, those grudge matches were fun. There were spreadsheets. I mean, that was fun.
People lost a lot of money in those things.
That was that. I contribute the grudge matches to Jason Bird getting good. Nobody got better in the grudge matches than Jason Bird.
I mean, listen, I would show up, shoot 76, and lose 150. It was terrible.
I mean, you show up today.
Like someone shot 82 and somehow wins like $80. I shoot 76. They're like, yeah, you owe 149 to the pot.
I remember it was so bad. The games we were playing were so bad. We started making up line items for Jason so he could win some things like par 4 totals in relationship to par. Who was closer to par?
And I wasn't even playing bad. I think there was. I think the one that really sits in my head is I shot low gross at Berry Creek and Quicksand and lost money both times. And Jason Sandoval had like 9 straight bogeys at Quicksand and won like $100. And I was like, this sucks.
I remember Barry because I won Barry making like birdie to finish on top of you guys.
Yeah, you shot like 87 with 3 straight birdies to finish and won all the money.
I don't think that's accurate.
I'll
go get that scorecard. That was not accurate.
And I really enjoyed going around. I enjoyed Quicksand in Wimberley, that little community golf course up there. I really enjoyed that. In the comments there, Jason Sandoval just posted that I was the only loser that day, and it was a brutal walk to the ATM machine. It was brutal, and I played great. That was one of those days. Jason Sandoval, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did not play bad. I was at or around par, I believe, and it just happened to be the way the cards fell in that game.
The snakes ate up a lot of people. The snake was fun too.
The way it was set up is you had to get low gross on one of the sides, and you had to make at least 2 or 3 birdies and get. Well,
it was multiple games. It was multiple games in one. It was designed to be so crazy that you couldn't think about it, and that you just tried to play your best golf. That was the design behind it.
Yeah, it was like 10 games at once.
Yes, 10 or 12 games. So many line items that you couldn't think about an individual line item, and you just had to go. You just had to go play. Oh, I remember.
I did too, yes.
Yes, I remember I screwed up the 17th hole. I hit it in the bunker on the left side, hacked it out, and then like lipped out or just missed a 10-footer for par. And I believe I train wrecked and everybody else magically finished par, and that's what it was. So, but yes, that was the design of those grudge matches, and we tried to make it as much like tournament golf as possible, right, to keep the tour atmosphere going. And we played so many games that you couldn't focus on one game, and you just had to go out and play the best golf you could. That was the atmosphere that we were trying to create, and I really think we did create it. It was a buttload of fun, and you got to put yourself in some of those really pressure-packed positions, like on 18 somewhere, knowing that you have to make a par or you're going to train wreck, or that you've got a second foot putt that's 8 feet long, and oh my gosh, it's the 18th hole and there's 35 snakes, some stupid number,
Oh. And we were so not bored, but we wanted golf so bad. You, me, Casey. We were playing PGA every night.
Yes,
for a while there too.
Video games just try to get it in when there was nothing else going on. When everybody
we just played 18 holes. All right, I'll see you online tonight.
Yes, it was a good time, and it was nice to keep the tournament atmosphere going when we couldn't have the regular tour season.
Those matches made me like real good right after that. I was so pissed off.
I agree completely. There's golf and there's tournament golf, and tournament golf makes you better. And the way we set up those grudge matches back in the day was super fun.
I think we should, if everyone wants to come up to Twin, we can do a grudge match.
Oh God, grudge match at Twin.
I just want to make some money.
We could get the old line item out. We could pull up a spreadsheet and make fun of how dumb we were. That was great. But let's cycle back to the end of the tour season. We've got an event this weekend, Mission Del Lago. Lots going on. I'm really excited to recognize Clint, the golf course manager at Mission Del Lago. He is in charge of the golf operations and the maintenance team at Mission Del Lago, and it's awesome. It's really good. I'm really excited. Really excited for Clint to showcase his golf course down there in the trail to show off what they're doing. And it's in good condition. Double points. Sign up today, guys. ACGTtour.golf. MD, let's cycle back. I'll turn it back over to you, bud.
Yeah, I mean, so we've talked a little bit about San Pedro tonight, talked about Mission Del Lago. Obviously, we're getting into the end of the season here. It's exciting. It's a lot going on. Lots going on at Mission Del Lago with some course changes. I mean, heck, I hadn't been out there in forever. Everything that they've done in the pro shop and at the bar area is amazing. So that's super cool. The guys over there are doing a great job getting the golf course as ready as can be. And, I think you and I talked about it the other day. I mean, the end of the season and into playoffs is going to come so fast. And it's just going to be so intense. It's just going to be nonstop golf. I'm excited to just watch the whole thing unfold. I mean, Bird, thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Insightful. Thank you.
I love it. I just shuts it down. Like, MD, that was a great segment. That was a great lead up. And Bird, with his one sentence response, just shuts it down. It's great.
This is why I'm a myth.
Bird hits it out of bounds. Thank you.
Oh, I'm good for one of those for sure.
Well, MD, what do we got left to talk about? We are at an hour. I feel like we hammered home what I wanted to touch base on: the San Pedro project, the sizzling summer Southside swing, wrapping up at Mission this weekend. Limited registration available for that, and then the rest of the summer open for registration.
Yep, get signed up now. Get signed up quickly. Obviously, they are selling out. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So get signed up early. If anyone's got any sort of, if any of the viewers out there, anyone has any questions, anyone want to know anything going on around the tour, questions about the golf course, questions, anything we can answer here in the moment, feel free to shoot us a quick message here. But really, aside from that, I think we've hit on all the main topics that we wanted to get to.
Jason Bird, final thoughts on this Tuesday edition of the ACGT Tour Power Hour here on August the 16th?
Casey's got lots of fun facts going on in chat, and I'm just waiting for the answers. Freaking out.
I know. I'm getting very distracted. I kept the chat up on the side, and that's what I'm looking back and forth at. I'm getting distracted there. We didn't ask you what you think you're going to shoot this weekend at Mission Del Lago.
I think I'm going to shoot 77, but I'm going to try my hardest to shoot a 63.
I love it. Go in to win. Don't roll into a golf tournament thinking you can't win. I love it. 63, Jason Bird. Unfortunately there, bud, I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I mean, I would put my life savings on the over. Doesn't mean I won't try it. But
yeah, go out and get it for sure.
I mean,
100%.
I mean, today on the range, I don't know if this is dumb or good, but it's something I do. I simulated my round at Mission Del Lago, except for putting and chipping. But I just told myself, what am I going to hit on one, and what do I expect to hit as my second shot? And I would hit those in consecutive orders and do that for number two. Like, what do I expect to hit off two, and then what do I expect to hit second off two? And I rehearsed that on the range today, so I could get familiar with like the cadence, I guess.
I think that's a really fun point. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm real big on that. So many people go to the driving range and hit 45 7-irons in a row. When are you going to hit 45 7-irons in a row on the golf course? Never. Not one time. Not one time. Unless you're going out and doing something stupid on the San Pedro par 3, like playing it the whole way with chipper. Bring the golf course to the driving range. I love that concept. so many people try to bring the driving range to the golf course. Let's go the other way, and let's bring the golf course to the practice session. That's phenomenal. I really like that attitude. Hit a driving iron, and then an 8-iron, and then driver, and then 3-wood, and then 60-yard wedge shot. Make your practice session simulate what you're going to do in your tournament setting. I really like that. Congratulations, Jason Bird. You are having a legendary show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's like you hit 47 irons or 45 drivers in a row, you are ingraining that swing, but most of us aren't playing single length clubs. And on the course, we're not hitting back-to-back 7-irons. Very, very rarely are we. So it just feels to me that varying what club you're hitting, especially from long to short, gets your body used to adjusting in real time versus hitting tons of shots. I don't know.
I couldn't agree more. I really like that. I think that's phenomenal practice ethic and a really good practice routine. Let me ask you how much time you spent on the putting green last night at your practice session.
Today I spent about 45 minutes on it because this weekend I didn't putt particularly well. I didn't feel good. I was a little exhausted, but I still didn't putt very good at all. So I camped out around 2 holes over there on the flatter green at TPC, the Oaks green, and put down some tees in varying distances around different orientations of the hole. And I got a little string out and a little rod out to make sure I was on plane, all that good stuff. Yeah, I definitely spent 45 minutes out there putting and working on my speed and stuff like that.
Very good. Very good. I think that's really important. I would always encourage people golfers at a practice session to start with putting and end with putting. If that's 5 minutes on the front end and 5 minutes on the back end, I'll take that as a coach or an instructor back in the day. But I want you to utilize your putter every practice session because so many people don't.
Yeah, I started my practice session today with, about 45 minutes of pitching from various lengths. So the pitching green can go anywhere from like 15 to 70 yards. I think I hit 20 or 30 from 20, 40, 50, 60 yards. And then I went to the range, and then I completed with 45 minutes of putting. I think I spent 30 minutes on the range. So I spent the majority on the short game, which is what I typically like to do.
And I think that's great. I think that's a great practice routine there. And I think that we don't talk about practice routines enough. How to practice, what to practice, how long to practice each shot, how to incorporate what you're working on in an instructional setting versus just a practice session, because they could be different. We don't talk about practicing a lot. We talk about playoffs and double points and registering. So that's a really good topic to touch on. Bird, you were having a great Tuesday. Keep up the good work.
I
am having a good Tuesday.
It really is go out with a plan. And it's also, don't forget, some of the basic stuff. Like, I'll be honest with you, my putting in the last maybe 2 months has fallen off. 3 months has fallen off pretty hard for me. It's not bad, but it's certainly not good. And it's because I'll be honest, I am guilty of sitting at the range. I'm not, going out there and hitting 50 straight 7-irons. But for me, my big focus has been getting off the tee, really working on my driver, really working on my overall swing, and just, making those adjustments. And I'm guilty of it too. For those guys that know me, everybody in the chat comments going to be able to pick out my favorite club in 1 second. And I find myself locked in on the chipping green, just being creative and trying to do dumb things with my favorite club. And I find myself practicing that more than I should be practicing something else that maybe needs improvement. But if we're calculating Trav's strokes gained stat, there's no club in the bag that does that more for me than that one, which is why I practice with the chipper so much. Yeah, and I think
you are a chipper wizard.
Steven Evans had a good call out, working on the aspects of the game I feel will be most tested for that particular course. I think that's another.
I think that's
good.
another level. Yeah, I think that's another level of thought there. I think the practice session is very different if we're playing Riverside or Willow versus Cedar or Almost. I think it's different. I think it's exact. I think that's a really good point when we're talking about practicing for tour events. Again, we're honing in what you're trying to accomplish in your practice session. Go to the practice area with a thought process, with a routine, execute it, work on what you want to work on, and then go. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I talked, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I might have even said something to Steven Evans. I was like, leading up to Cedar, I was like, I didn't hit a driver or a 3-wood all week. I'm like, I got driving iron. I'm just trying to keep it dead center in the fairway. That's my main focus this week. And just making sure I'm not trying to overplay my hand on that golf course, because a mix up there can cost you. And that's exactly, the mindset that, I think we all need to have and be more aware of is the course we're playing is, what we're practicing for, and hitting a million drivers or something like that.
Well, there's a lot of grass at Mission Del Lago right now.
So is Mission Del Lago a driving course, or is it a second shot course? I feel like it's a second shot course.
Well, again, let's enhance who we're talking about there. Are we talking about somebody who drives the ball 300 yards in championship flight, or are we talking about Trav versus Jason, because that's different? Mission Del Lago's long. From the back tee box, Mission Del Lago's long. I think there's a premium in hitting it in play off the tee box. There is trouble on Mission Del Lago off the tee on almost every hole. There is out of bounds on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. I mean, you could, if you're 50 yards left of the green on number 8, there's out of bounds there as well. But I believe, in my opinion, a placement off the tee at Mission Del Lago is what I would be focusing on, and then advancing it to the green complex as the secondary.
Because some of those greens are pretty tiered, so.
Yes, not as much as Cedar or Almost, but you're right. Mm-hmm. It's up there in that half of the more undulated greens.
Sweet. Hopefully I'm driving the ball good.
Well, I agree. Placement off the tee at Mission Del Lago. The greens are big. They're receptive. But again, if we're singling one thing to practice, that's what I'm practicing going into a tournament at Mission Del Lago. MD, final thoughts for tonight, buddy?
Man, I'm excited for the weekend. I think it's going to be a lot of great golf. I'm excited to see everyone.
Oh, family.
And
hi.
Yeah. You say hi? You say hi? She doesn't want to go to sleep, so she's been watching Dad. She's been watching Dad from across the way, and she decided it's time for her to
get impatient.
Yes, it is definitely past bedtime. We are wrapping things up tonight. I am excited as well. MD, go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
No, I appreciate everyone out there tonight watching. Super excited for Mission Del Lago. Really excited to kind of finish up the season, move into the playoffs. I think my biggest takeaway from tonight, and something I think we should all be kind of paying more attention to, is how we go out and practice. I know Casey Graham has called it out. Casey Carnes has called it out. I'm glad we touched on it tonight. Practice with purpose. Have a reason to go out and practice and know what you're focused on, and make sure it's going to be impactful for your weekend, because we are at a point where every point matters. So show up ready.
Matters. I love it. We almost made it a whole podcast without saying that.
I refuse.
Jason Bird, final thoughts on this Tuesday evening at 9:45 p.m.
How come I drink so many protein shakes, but I don't have muscles? I just get gas instead.
I think you have to mix some weightlifting into that too.
I do that.
I am maybe not the expert to talk to about nutrition and exercising and how that all correlates, maybe we can have Claudia Ramirez on the show and as a special guest in the future, and she can tell us how
she
that
just
worked.
was in Alaska for the U.S. Senior Women's Am. It was
Yes,
awesome.
and she made the match play, actually.
Yes,
So
that was
that was
awesome.
fun to follow. We got Casey.
I had it pulled up on my phone. I was following her. It was awesome.
We got Casey Carnes in the United States Mid-Am.
Yep.
Coming up here in
Aaron
a couple
Hills.
weeks
That's
at Aaron
such a
Hills in
great
Wisconsin.
golf.
When we are in Colorado, Casey will be in Aaron Hills playing in that event. We are going to do our best on tour to clothe sponsor Casey Carnes for that event. So hopefully we can get some tour apparel to Casey for that event before he goes. But thank you everybody for watching. A shout out again to our sponsors, Sean Sexton, Goosehead Insurance, Rick Hoinsey, Elevated Logistics. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsor this year and our South Texas Match Play Challenge sponsor, Laura Lewis and the Cake Place and More, our Victory Cookie sponsor. I look forward to seeing what she's got in the creation laboratory for this week's Victory Cookies at Mission Del Lago. Everybody, summer season winding down. We are on the back stretch of the summer season. Double points, double points, double points to finish. All three events are open for registration, including this week's event at Mission Del Lago. Officially a sellout, single digits left available, spots remaining. ACGTtour.golf. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. My final thought tonight is shout out to the Alamo City Golf Trail. Thank you so much for being the host of the Alamo City Golf Trail Tour. Thank you so much for representing the city of San Antonio's golfers. Thank you so much for reinvesting into the golf courses that we all play and love. I hope you guys love the changes at Mission Del Lago. I know I'm excited for Riverside. I'm super excited for the enhancements at San Pedro. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you this weekend at Mission Del Lago. I plan on being there all week and weekend leading up to this event. Stop by. I'll always have a tour hat on. Say hello. We look forward to crowning you the next tour champion. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it away, MD.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on the ACGT Tour Power Hour, episode 24. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Until then, we will see you at Mission this weekend. Play well, good luck, have fun, and remember, ACGT Tour is the #1 place for amateur golf in San Antonio. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.